Hi Year 3, this is Monday's maths lesson. Now last week you were focusing on column addition and subtraction with Mrs Smith. So we focused on addition and subtraction of the 4 operations. This week we're going to do more multiplication and division, and we're focusing on multiplication. Now before the holidays you were using the grid method to help you multiply bigger numbers. But this week we're going to move more on to looking at a bar model, and if we can understand what a bar model is to help us multiply, because that's going to help us with the inverse later on in the week. So first of all, let's look at this bar model. Now we've used these before. The top bar is the longest bar, that tells us the total, and underneath the bar is of equal length and it's telling us some groups. So straight away we can see that that's a multiplication bar model that we're looking at here. Now the top number tells me the total, the answer, and the answer to this multiplication is 15, so I can add that into my number sentence. Now I need to look at the bottom bar here that's split into chunks. You will notice that it's split into 3 equal chunks, and each of the 3 equal chunks is worth something. Okay, now remember, multiplication has lots of different words that mean the operation to multiply. So we can have groups of, lots of, multiply, times, okay? Groups of and lots of is going to help us here. So I can see that I've got 3 groups, 3 equal chunks of this bar here. So I can add that number in here. I've got 3 groups of something which make 15. Now the something is how many is in each group, and you will see that we've got 5 here, 5 here and 5 here. They're equal groups. That could have been 5 dots in that group, and we could have counted them up to check that there were 15, but we've just written in the number 5 because that can help us too. So this is telling us that 3 lots of 5 makes 15, and we can count in our 5s pattern to just check it. So we can go 5, 10, 15. Yes, I'm sure that that makes 15. Right, next one. I'm going to ask you to pause it in a moment because I want you to look at this one and either just have a think while it's paused or get a piece of paper and a pencil and see if you can work out what number sentence, what multiplication number sentence this bar model is showing. Have a go at pausing now. Right, I hope you paused it. Let's have a look together. So the top bar is our total. Our top bar is our biggest, it's our total. It's worth 20. So I can add that into the number sentence. Then the bottom bar is telling me that these 2 equal groups will give me the answer 20. Well, how many equal groups have we got? Well, we've got 1 there, 1 group or chunk there, and 1 there. Okay, so I've got 2 chunks or groups of something. How many's in each group? Well, it says 10 and 10. So we've got 2 groups of 10, which makes 20. And again, we can use our tens pattern now to check. 10, 20. So I'm happy with that one. This one, again, I want you to pause it in a moment and have a think or have a go on your own. Are you ready? Pause. Right, let's see how you got on. Well, the top bar is the largest number. It's 24, so that's telling me my total. I can add that in here. Now, how many groups have I got, or how many chunks is the bar underneath split into? I can see 1 chunk, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 groups or 4 chunks of, how much is in each chunk? 6. 4 lots of 6 makes 24. Now we can count in our 6's if you know. So that would be 6, 12, 18, 24. I'm happy with that one. Now these ones on the challenge are a little bit more tricky because you'll see that there's some missing information. But don't worry, we can add in what we know to our number sentence to help us work out what else is left in the bar model. So have a look at this one. We've got 16, but we're missing these two bottom bits. Again, I'm going to say pause, and I want you to have a go and see if you can fill in what this number sentence will be. Pause. How did you get on? Well, we've got the total, the largest bar, which is telling me that I've got 16. So I can add that in as the answer, the total after the equals. Now I can see the two chunks underneath, but it's missing how many should be in each of the groups. So let's add that to our number sentence. I know I've got two groups of something. Something needs to go there. So you've now got to use what you already know. Which two numbers do you add together to get 16? I'm thinking of my halves and my doubles now. I'm thinking, what is half of 16? Because halving is the same as finding two equal groups up. Half of 16 is, did you get it? 8. So I now know 2 lots of 8 equals 16. Brilliant. Did you get that one? Now the last one, a little bit different. I haven't got my total, but I have got my equal groups and I know how much is in each one. So let's fill in the information that we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3 equal groups. Where's that going to go? It's going to go at the start of my number sentence because I've got 3 groups of something. So I can add that in there. 3 groups of... Now I can see in each chunk that there's the number 4. So I've got 3 equal groups of 4. What I'm missing is my top bar. What I'm missing is my total. So let's see if we can solve it. I'm going to count in my 4s, and I'm going to count these 3 chunks of 4, or 3 groups of 4. Are you ready to count with me? 4, 8, 12. So 4, 8, 12 gives me the total here. The answer's 12, so I can put that in here. 3 times 4, 3 lots of 4 is 12. Brilliant. Now, if you go to your shared files, there's some more bar models that I'd like you to have a go at on J2E5. You'll have a bar model and you'll have to tell me, sorry, I'll use this as an example, tell me what the number sentence that would be to match it. But I've thrown in some of these tricky ones down here where a little bit of information is missing. Let me know how you get on. Any questions, ask me or Mrs. Smith.